I have a really wacky video from MyPillow CEO and founder Mike Lindell, known colloquially to our audience simply as Pillow or Mike Pillow. He says he hopes Trump will appoint him Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security. Now, I know that this is whacked out, crazy stuff, but there's something very real and very scary that we have to contend with here. Okay, here's Pillow on news on Real America's Voice.
He might do it this week. Mike Lindell, can you confirm, have you been asked by President Trump to be his running mate on the ticket for 2024?
No, I haven't. I have not been asked, you guys. And I will tell you this, if he asks me to do anything, I'm hoping it's when he gets in, that he puts me in charge of the elections and where we can get our election platforms completely fixed.
Ooh, I like that.
I think the election bureau should be, which I have already set up, should be part of Homeland Security, Jack, so that because remember, our government deemed our elections critical infrastructure. And so that's what I hope that he would do, would have a place for me there, because in the last 3 years, I've lived and breathed it. I know what we need to have secure elections, and I really think I could do a good job of getting this country to a great place like you have over in the UK.
All right, so listen, do I think that Pillow is likely to be Trump's Secretary of Homeland Security or Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security? Probably not. What the hell do I know? Trump's done crazier things. But there's a reason I'm playing this for you. Because Pillow will be the type of person that is going to be in Trump's ecosystem if he becomes president. Think back to Trump's first term. Who were Trump's more sane cabinet members? And I know that we're talking about, pick your poison, right? Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State was a less overtly whacked out person. And he was not a good fit at the end of the day. Trump was restrained. He didn't really pick the whack jobs that he would like to pick. Trump's also deteriorated himself a lot since he was president. So the sort of thing we're going to have to contend with if Donald Trump gets 4 years in the Oval Office is, dare I say, Attorney General Alina Habba. Wow. Think about that for a moment. Okay. Secretary of Education. Who the hell knows, right? I mean, they want to destroy public education from the inside out. The point here is not Mike Pillow will be appointed as Trump's Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security. It's that people like him are going to be all over this administration. Now, on the counterpoint, when I consider the concerns about Joe Biden cognitively, and I think, heck, you know what? The people he put around him are so good that despite whatever he's struggling with, he had one of the most successful presidential terms in decades. And whether it's Biden or Biden and then Harris, if Biden were to step down after winning, or whatever scenario you want to acknowledge from these right wingers, it's going to be basically the same. Sober, competent people who are just going to get things done. So it is about Project 2025. And if you haven't checked out the white paper at davidpakman.com/Project 2025, do so. It's completely free. It is about the team around Joe Biden versus the team around Donald Trump. And that's part of what we are seeing here. But it's also about an inflection point. And this is something I've been talking about extensively. 2028, we're always thinking of the next thing. 2028's texture, to use a Rachel Maddow term, the texture of 2028 will be completely shaped by 2024. Is MAGA reinvigorated and now is a real force in 2028? Or do we put them in the dustbin of history, right? That's where woke comes to die. We put MAGA in the dustbin of history, like Ron DeSantis wants to do. And in 2028, we can get back to normal policy disagreements with normal Republicans rather than dealing with this absolute insanity. That's part of what's at stake in this election, and that's why it's so important. Make sure, if nothing else, that you have left us a review on iTunes or Spotify for the podcast. Costs nothing. Or you've subscribed to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. Let's take a break. I want to look at swing states. I want to look at a number of other things after we hear from just a sponsor or two. The weather is warming up. We're outside more. Maybe we're trying to get in shape for summer. If you're in need of a science-based, no BS workout program that's easy to follow and will give you results you feel good about, look no further than our sponsor, Alpha Progression. Alpha Progression was recognized not once, but twice as Apple's App of the Day. It's just a great value. It has an easy-to-use interface. It's totally customizable based on your needs. And it has a 4.9 star rating in both Apple and Google app stores from tens of thousands of reviews. Alpha Progression is the app for anyone looking to maximize muscle gain. That's their only focus, but it's designed to be perfect for both novices and seasoned lifters alike. Every workout plan is built from scratch just for you personally and catered to your individual goals. Alpha Progression was carefully designed over many years by veteran bodybuilders to give you the same principles and the tailored advice that you'd get from a personal trainer who charges 30 times more with the same results at a fraction of the price. We're partnering with Alpha Progression to give you 20% off your first year when you sign up for annual, or 20% off your first month if you sign up for monthly. Go to alphaprogression.com/Pakman. The link is in the description.